Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be doing a 30-minute yoga flow. Started with seating on the ground, coming through some stretches, and then ending with a little savasana before we're done. Remember to always do it the level that's appropriate for your body. I do have a block with me today because I always like to have a prop available in case I need it. It's always good to use one to have yourself just allow a little bit more length for your arms to be able to be more accessible in the poses. It's up to you whether you use one or not, but you could also use a big SETI book or a solid box, but you just want to make sure it's something solid. I have the nice thick foam block that I like to use that you can pick up usually for under $10. So we're going to start with a little breathing. So I want you to find a comfortable seated position on your mat. Now this could be up on a bolster or on flat down on your mat. And I want you to close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, I want you to start to focus on your breath. Start to follow that inhale and exhale. Just start to notice how that breath affects your body. Where you feel your breath in your body. Start to notice how your body feels on the inhale and how your body feels on the exhale. And then start to notice the different characteristics of your breath. Are you breathing shallow? Or do you feel that breath all the way down towards the bottom of your lungs? Or somewhere in the middle? Is your breath long or short? Smooth, or does it have some rough edges? Whatever that breath is today, that is your breath. So I want you to stay with it and start to follow it in your mind as if it was a wave coming in towards the shore and leaving back out. As we inhale, that breath comes in towards the shore. As it goes out, that wave goes back out to sea. Along with that wave as it goes out to sea is any of those waste products our body does not need. As it comes in, all that new information, new air comes in. And as it goes out, so does all that waste and stress. And with that breath, I want you to start to take it down deeper. Start to bring in more air with each inhale and let more out with each exhale. I find it helps if I breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth, but do what works for you. On your next exhale, bring your chin towards your chest. On your inhale, lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Trying to sit up tall, move your head back and forth with your breath. Bringing your head back up to the center. The next time you exhale, turn your head towards your right shoulder. Rotating back through center and exhale over to the left shoulder. Just turning your head side to side. Taking as much time as you need on each side. Taking it slow. Letting your breath be your guide. And then on your next inhale, return your head to the center and start to roll your head around. You can move through half circles or full circles, whatever serves your body best at this moment. Pausing and taking it to the other direction. And then bringing it back up through center. We're gonna pull our shoulders up to our ears and roll them back. I like to move my hands out towards my knees so I can feel the width of my shoulders. And then bring it back to the center. We're gonna release our arms out to the side. And the next inhale, we're gonna reach our arms up towards the sky, and exhale, take them back down. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, back down. Exhale, back down. And we're gonna take that right arm and we're gonna reach it up and over our head. Inhaling up and exhaling to the other side. Starting to laterally flex our body side to side. Opening up through that rib cage, making our chest and spine longer, taller. Reaching over. One more time each side. And then bringing our body back. We're going to extend both legs straight out in front of us. And we're going to sit up as tall as we can. So sometimes that's moving that extra sunshine out from underneath us and pulling our toes back towards us. And we're going to extend our arms straight out in front of us. And I'm sitting up as tall as I can. We're going to take a big inhale, sit up taller. As we exhale, we're going to reach forward with our fingertips and our chest, not folding forward. Big inhale to sit up. Exhale to reach. So you notice we're not folding forward. We're reaching forward with those fingertips, starting to lengthen the back of those legs into that lower back. This last one, we're going to hold it here, looking out in front of us, looking towards those fingertips. And then reach it up and bring those hands back down. We're going to bring our right foot in towards our hip. And then as we pull in on that right leg, our left leg is still flexed and our chest is still long, spine lengthened. We're going to place that right leg across that left side and then use those hands to help us rotate our spine, thinking of sitting tall and rotating through the whole spine, looking out towards that right side. As we rotate back forward, we're going to place that right foot on the inside of our left knee, trying to lower this knee down towards the ground, but it doesn't have to go all the way down to the ground. This is the first chance you have to use that block. You can put that block underneath that lifted leg to let it rest there. And also your foot doesn't have to be all the way up at your hip crease. You can take it down by your knee. We're going to walk our hands down that extended leg, reaching down for those toes. We are folded forward this time, letting our head and neck relax down. Reaching down for your toes, your calf, your shin, wherever it is that you can reach. Breathe deeply into these stretches so that your body can find that extra length. And then as we roll all the way up to seated, we're going to rotate towards our bent knee. We're going to anchor through that back hip. Hands are by your side. And we're going to press our chest forward. So we're not collapsing forward. We're not letting that back hip lift off. We are reaching our chest forward over that bent knee. And then as we come back up, we're going to extend that right leg and bring that left foot in to repeat on the other side. Lengthening up the chest. And then placing that foot across and walking yourself into that twist. Long spine, looking out towards your side wall, whatever that might be. Try not to lift your shoulders up towards your ears, pull them down. And then as we come back forward, that foot comes to the inside. Again, that option to put that block under the knee. and then roll yourself forward towards that front leg. As we roll ourselves back up, we rotate towards that bent knee, anchoring through that back hip, and press our chest forward, only going as far as we can keep that back hip down on our mat. Create a long line with that head as an extension of the spine. Try not to have your head pulled up, but looking out at the ground. And then as we come back up, we're going to come over onto our hands and knees for our cat and cow. You want to place your hands underneath your wrists underneath your elbows and your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and start to take a deep inhale as you rotate your pelvis so that your belly goes towards the mat and your chest lifts up to the front. As you exhale, you're going to tuck your belly in, pull your spine up towards the ceiling, and tuck your chin in towards your ribs. Inhaling is that rotation through the pelvis so that your belly lowers towards that mat. And exhale is curling everything up and in towards that ceiling. Think of that scaredy cat and the Halloween decorations. We're using our breath as our guide, moving with our breath. And then coming back to our tabletop. We're going to come back into our child's pose, and I'm going to offer you two options here. So you're pushing your hips back towards your heels and stretching your arms out so that your chest is pressing down towards your mat. Now another option is going to be to keep your toes together, your knees out wide as you go down. And this option offers you more space if you have spinal issues in that lower back, or maybe you carry a little bit more weight in the belly and need just a little bit more space. Maybe you have a pregnant or just feels better. Do whichever pose feels best for you. And we're going to walk both of our hands over to the right side to again get that lateral flexion, a little stretch through that side body. So you should feel it all the way down this side of your body that you're reaching away from. Coming back up and taking that stretch over to the other side. Reaching those arms out so that you feel that stretch down that side again. Coming back through the center, we're going to bring our belly all the way down to our mat and come to rest on our forearms. We're going to be lifting up from our chest, lifting our chest up, looking out towards that front of your mat. You're going to press down through your legs so that your pelvis and legs stay in contact with that mat. You can take a big inhale here, lift, and exhale, lower your chest a little bit. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Now, if you feel you have a little bit more flexibility there, you can always bring your hands down lower and lift your chest higher. But you're going to stay, again, listening to your body. You want to always think of extending your spine, long spine, not feeling that crunching right there in that lower back, but keeping that spine long so it's your head is reaching away from those hips. And then bringing yourself back down. We're going to press ourselves back up into our hands and knees. And we're going to bring our right foot forward between our hands. Now our back leg is at an angle. We're pressing that back hip towards our mat. And our front toes are forward enough so that our front knee is staying over that ankle rather than over those toes. This is another great time to use that block. You could have one or two on each side, or maybe just one in front of you so that you have just a little bit more length for your arms. And we're going to start to press that back hip towards that mat. Start to lengthen through that hip flexor of the front leg. or back leg. If you're here and this is where you need to be, stay right here. If you need a little bit of balance integration here, you can bring your chest up and continue to lean forward with a little bit extra balance work. If you feel like you can't get deep enough to get that hip flexor stretch there, you can take and you can extend the same arm as that leg and reach your chest back just slightly to intensify that stretch in that back front leg. Bringing your hands back down to your mat. We're now going to come into a rotation. You're going to bring that right hand to your right knee and you're going to rotate your chest towards that right knee. Trying to rotate as much of your chest as possible towards that right knee. And then we're going to keep that hand there or extend it up, opening that chest more to the side. If you have your arm extended up, your armpit is facing that side and your palm is as well, so that your arm is pulling back through that chest. Bring that hand back down and we're going to shift our weight back so that our front toes lift up off of our mat. You should feel the stretch through the whole back of your leg. And then as we come back forward, we're going to bring that foot back and bring the other foot back, other foot in front of us instead. We're going to lunge forward again, having those options, hands on the block, hands on the mat, lifted chest, or maybe even the arm lifted and extended back, finding where is right for you today and staying there, taking those nice long deep breaths. And then bringing your hands down to your mat, hand to your knee, rotating the chest, and then finding that openness in that chest, whether your hand stays here and you're just focusing on moving that spine, or you have the openness to open that arm up. We're always listening to our bodies and staying where it's right for us today. We bring that hand down and we push our hips back so that those front toes lift up off of that mat. We're going to roll those toes back so that our foot can come back behind us, and we're going to return to that child's pose, pressing our hips back. Pressing that chest towards your mat. And then bringing yourself all the way over. We're going to come to a seated position. And we're going to take our legs out wide now. And if you notice for by wide, I'm just making a V with my legs. I'm not trying to take my legs as wide as they can go. I'm trying to stay where I can control them. I'm going to take my arms out long, sit up as tall as I can, and I'm going to rotate through my spine, reaching those hands towards my foot. Now I am having to bend my elbow as I rotate because I have a wall behind me that I will hit. You can always make adaptations for space there, and that's just truly just making it a shorter lever as you twist. Coming back to the center, I'm going to take my hands to the mat and I'm going to walk my hands out in front of me, pulling my chest towards my mat. So I'm not collapsing through the chest, I'm pulling my chest towards my mat, lengthening and stretching through the inner thighs, keeping my feet flexed and pointing up towards the ceiling, pushing my chest forward, setting heavy through my hips. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to walk them over towards my right leg, continuing to press my chest forward. I might be able to reach my knee, my calf, my foot. I am more flexible, so I can reach my foot, but don't worry if that's not accessible for you today. We all have different injuries in our back and back of our legs and lower back, or even just if you sit a lot sometimes, those muscles can be tighter. So don't worry if that's not totally approachable today. You stay where it's right for you. Walking back through center, we're going to walk that chest over towards that left leg. Again, leading with that chest, not collapsing that spine, long spine still. And then coming back to the center. See if you can roll down just a little bit further. And then walk your hands all the way back up to seated. We're going to finish with some stretching on our back today. So I'm going to turn around here so that my head is facing you so you can see what my legs are doing. I'm going to start by bringing both knees in towards my chest and gently rocking side to side on my spine. And then I'm going to place my legs up at the ceiling, flexing my toes. I can hold on to the back of my legs, or I can just let my legs float here if that's accessible to me. You got to pay attention to where your hair is. If you've got a hair clip in, it does make it a little hard. You could also, if you have a strap or even just a belt around your house or a rope, you could take it underneath your feet and use that to hold your feet up. You could also take your legs up against a wall as another option of full support. This helps with our blood flow, circulation, stuff like that. This is called an inversion. You want to be careful with an inversion if you've been told by your doctor to not do it, or if you have problems of your blood pressure fluctuating a whole lot. And then as we bend those knees and place those feet back on the ground, we're going to step our feet out wide towards the corners of our mat. We're going to bring both of our knees towards that right side and take our gaze out towards that left. Turn your whole head towards that left. You might notice I have my hands out a little bit wider. That just gives me more of a base as I rotate. Coming back through center, take the knees to the left and the gaze to the right. And coming back to center, we're going to bring our right knee into our chest and lower our left leg down to our mat. With that hand on that right leg, you're going to create circles with that right hip, just small little circles in that hip socket. And circle the other direction. Trying to keep that left hip anchored down as you move. As we come back to the center, we're going to wave that leg out and in, still anchoring through that left hip. Bringing it back to center, stretching that leg out, reaching your arms above your head, reaching your fingertips to toes as far apart as you can, stretch it out. And then slowly bring that left knee in towards your chest. Pull it in as you lengthen that right leg, pressing that right leg down into your mat, and then start to move that left leg in circles. And circle the other way. And start to wave that leg out to the side and back in, anchoring through that right hip. And stretching that leg out, reaching those arms up above your head, stretching fingertips to toes, reaching everything as long as you can. And then we're going to bring our arms back down by our side, bring our feet to our mat, and we're going to open our knees out to the side, bringing the bottoms of our feet together for our butterfly. This is going to be another chance for you to use that block. If you feel your knees need somewhere to rest, you can always set something under each side to just give them ability to just rest there rather than feeling work right now. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to focus back on that breath. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Watching that wave come into the shore and go back out to sea. Stretch your legs out on that mat. We're going to find our Savasana now. Start to let your whole body just melt onto your mat, closing your eyes if they're not already, and letting everything relax, letting it become heavy on your mat. Keeping with that breath, watching that water come in to shore and out to sea. Feeling your body relax with each exhale, letting go of that waste, letting go of whatever's weighing you down. And then we're going to start to circle our ankles. Circling both directions. Circling our wrists. Both directions again. And reaching our arms up above our head, stretching our body out fully. And then rolling over onto one side. Support your head with your hand. Bring your knees up towards your chest. Continue with your eyes closed and just take a couple more deep breaths here. And slowly press yourself back up to seated where we started. We're going to take a big inhale, reach up, and exhale back down. Inhale up, and exhale down. Reach your right arm up and over. Turn your gaze up towards that arm. Keep it there. And then float it back down as your other arm comes up and over, turning your gaze towards that arm. Holding it there. Reaching that arm back down. Inhale up. And exhale down to your heart. Inhale up. And exhale down to your side. Inhale up. And exhale down to your heart. Thank you all for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and join me again next time.